Right. Let's get this party started tonight, guys. Welcome to tonight's stream where we are going to be talking about the wonderful thing called enclosures. Now, why am I talking about enclosures? It's a 3D printing channel. Well, enclosures are beneficial things that you can add to your 3D printer for a multitude of reasons. Reasons can be from and not limited to, you've got too much humidity and your prints always mess up. It's too cold wherever your printer is. You're not in a climate controlled space. Pets. Yes, cats can be a pain when it comes to 3D printers. Dust. All that kind of stuff can affect your 3D printing. So what a lot of people will do, we'll put them in enclosures. And tonight, we are being sponsored. They have sent us an enclosure from Fnatr, their EnderBox S1. To unbox and check out and take a look. Now this enclosure is scaled size for the Ender 3, Ender 3 Pro, and the Ender 3 V2. This will not work with the S1 Pro, so keep that in mind. They do have another variant coming out fairly soon here that will cover that printer, but right now these only cover the older Enders. So basically the taller Enders would not be accommodated by this box, but this design has me intrigued because it comes with the electronics, it comes with all the goodies, and honestly, just looking at the box, how it's packed, it's really good. It looks like it's really good material. And definitely, if you have a question about enclosures in your 3D printers, definitely ask those questions tonight, because that's what we're really working towards, because there's multitudes of cool things that you can do with an enclosure for your printer, whether it's resin or honestly filament. Now, of course, tonight our sponsor here, the folks that sent us this one, this is geared towards filament printer. But without further ado, let's get this thing out of the box and start taking a look at it. So, all in all, it's packed really, really well. And the way that it's packed is beautiful. Let's be honest, if this was a Creality product, I'd be picking foam out, I'd be doing all this kind of stuff. Hey, two-a-days, welcome to the stream tonight. I'd be picking all kinds of stuff out. But all in all, just first view of the box. Easy to pull it out of the box. Everything is taped in and secure. This looks fantastic. I'm gonna grab a tool here to cut the tape so I can start actually getting to it. So everything is taped in, everything is secured. They've got filler blocks to make sure nothing gets damaged. And one of the key things that I like about that, just the first few moments of seeing this enclosure, the book is right on top. I cannot stress how often I have to go digging through a box to get the instructions. Not tonight. So all in all, there's a pretty relatively simple part list. Looks like construction maybe. We got step 1 is part list, step 2 is getting started. Part 2, part 3, step 3, and step 4 and 5. Looks relatively simple to me to get started on this, so we are definitely going to get this. And one of the things that is kind of actually caught my attention about this, and I'm actually kind of curious to try, is the filament placement is right up on top, so, and pulls it in, which is great because a lot of these printers, they put the filament arm up on top and pull through. So I'm almost kind of curious if an Odin will fit in here. The Focus Odin 5 would fit in here as well if I use a similar layout, because the Odin 5 is roughly the same dimensions and height as an Ender 3. But that's not what we're here to talk tonight. We're talking about putting the Ender 3 in a nice, safe, secure enclosure to where we can do all kinds of horrible things. So this, I mean, enclosures are great for if you've got kids, if you're going to work with like ABS and that horrible smell that it has. You can actually get an enclosure like this and have it vent out of the house, so you don't have to deal with that smell. So, and guys, I will be putting a link to this in the description after the stream. And I do apologize about the loud sound of the tape and stuff. but unfortunately, we gotta work with it. So all in all, it doesn't look like a bunch of tools is needed. We're gonna start getting the parts out of the box here. I love that it is clear plexiglass. The emblem printed into it, that's really nicely done. We're gonna get all the pieces out. I'm gonna kind of set them around the office here so that I don't break anything, I don't lose anything, and we can get everything to where we need it. All right, set my bits bag over there. All right. So, and here's where the quality game comes in. They've taken the time, I'm going to show this. They've inlaid the electronics. They've cut the grooves for easy, quick assembly. This is beautiful, how they've taken the time to do this. It's powered by Type-C USB. You've got a light, you've got fan controls built in. That's beautiful. I like that. That is really beautiful. That is well done. Because one of the things that I'm going to bring up about this is, hey Doug, how's it going? One of the things I'm going to bring up about this is, I'm about to very much shift my location. So we are very much in the process. Hopefully by week 1 of August, I will be in the move to Savannah. So going to Savannah changes my climate of my print facility. Here where I am right now in my basement, my shop, I don't have a lot of problems with humidity. My shop is very much climate controlled, and that may very much change. So an enclosure like this can actually help minimize a lot of the problems that I'm going to run into by that climate change. All right. So looking at this, right here is where I'm assuming my printer feet land. And judging by the metal plate, that this is the front. So kind of gives you a view of what I'm looking at, what is going to be going on. Oh, let's see here. Retail. I just forgot the number. Hang on. So this box retails at $200. This enclosure, which is pretty. So when we talk enclosures, Creality has their enclosure. It's all fabric with the thermal inlay that you would see in a thermal blanket. It's poles and the fabric all wrapped around it with the zip, and it zips up and all that. This is on another playing level. I can buy 2 or 3 of these. I can stack them. They're strong, they're clear. These are more professional level enclosures. So, hey, glad to hear you don't have any more leaks, Doug. That's awesome. Leaks are enemy number 1 to everybody. Believe me, I've been working on this house, getting it ready, which it's ready. We were listed for 4 days and already on our contract. So this house is going on August 1st. But kind of keep in mind, this is a very professional grade. This is more something that I would, if you've ever seen my shop video, I have that very heavy duty metal shelf. I would place these side by side on that metal shelf to make this very much a very professional looking print shop. So, and I don't know what kind of room in that I'm going to get for the new print shop. So Yeah, lots of stuff still in the air right now. So I'm still kind of nervous about all this, but we're gonna take it all one day at a time. Stranger Things. Did you enjoy the Demogorgon video that I put out there? I will admit that Demogorgon was a very fun print. I enjoyed it quite a bit. So I'm going to get these first 2 pieces that go in these spots on top and bottom. So this piece with the light and everything in it, this is the top. I'm assuming these are for the doors to sit into. So you put that in the top and bottom. So I don't look so dorky here holding these pieces. I'm going to move that to the side. And I'm going to get the doors because that's where we're moving to next. Oh. Me and my worst enemy, the tape. The other thing I didn't point out earlier is built-in thermometer to tell you your percentages and your heat. I think this is actually maybe a yeah, this is a hydrometer. So your moisture level and all that kind of stuff will be told in there. You know, it's that I still haven't taken the time to watch Stranger Things. I really need to do that. But it will have to wait till probably August for me to adventure the time to add a new TV show or anything to my viewing list, because, man, I'll tell you what, I have been nothing but busy. All right, so we got our two doors. You guys can see they've got the metallic screw in there so that it will connect, and if I'm right, should just easily go in like that. Actually, it'll probably go like this because there's the emblem and everything that we want facing correctly. And this is clear once we're done. So what's everybody else been up to? Anybody printing anything cool? Got cool things going on in life? Love to hear. Ironically, I'm an 83. So that was the year I was born. So I'm just putting that in place for now because we got to put the handles and the hydrometer and all that into it yet too. But just looking at the craftsmanship, the cut, how clean the plastic is. This looks great. I'm really excited to actually get this put together. Douglas, which printer are you going for first? actually think I have these backwards, which causes a problem. Trying to read instructions and do too many things. The CR10 is a great one to start with, Douglas. My recommendation is the CR10 V2. I know I've seen them out there on Amazon for like $359 and stuff here lately. So the price is definitely dropping on those and definitely worth the investment. Because those are basically what my fleet are back there. So let's get this guy done. I'm actually going to move this off to the side because I need the space, and I'm getting myself confused here, unfortunately. So, all right, where's that little hole? That must be that right there. Okay. All right, so there's how the doors actually lay out. So one, I need the hygrometer. And get it out of its wonderful plastic world. And definitely it's one of those things, we will have a tear down video of the old print shop, which is about to begin. Because I'm trying to figure out what are essential printers and what are not essential right now. And I'm essentially going to start dismantling the print shop here very soon, leaving my resin printers and that for the very last. Because I want to do another video before I move on the Frozen Sonic Mega 8K and the Frozen M3, which I will tell you guys, those printers are just wow. The prints are blowing my mind that I'm getting out of that Photon M3 Max and that 8K. So that is definitely a conversation we will have before I send us out, and we head out onto the new journey. So we gotta get the handles for the door. And guys, I'm being pretty meticulous here on the instructions. I just want to make sure I do this right, and you know, I want this thing to look pretty. So, and 4 tens. Okay. Just recheck my part list. Actually, I'm going to try to do time-lapsing of the actual new print shop being built. I think that would be really cool. So it's definitely something that's on my mind to make happen as we move to the new shop. But first, we got to get the new shop house picked. Because that's how crazy the market has been, is realtors wouldn't even work with us until our house was under contract. So basically, our house has to be pretty much sold before anybody would help us buy a new one. So I'm excited for a new shop and a new layout and a new way to do this. I've already got plans. I don't know why this is being so difficult. I'm just getting 2 screws out of a bag. But being a little bit of a tough cookie to crack there. And I will say, I love these handles. I love the T-handles. I love that it's not a knob, that it's actually a handle that I can take 2 fingers and grab a hold of and pull. where a knob, it can easily slip and just kind of not be fun. And don't worry, if you're watching the stream, guys, and you don't want to see me spend an hour put this together, this will be cut down to a video here later to come out in probably a week or two for one of my Friday videos. So always keep that in mind. I try to make this as painless as possible because I know people are busy. I'm busy. I know how it all goes. So, Jamie, welcome to it. I've started as a filament guy. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 filament printers, so I'm totally into the filament game too. And this is filament game that we're talking about here today. I mean, this is for an Ender 3. This box is designed to Enclosure Ender 3. So, resin, I didn't think I was going to like it. I'll be honest with you. I was hesitant when I went over to it, but it's been fun. It really has. I have not minded the resin as much as near as half as what I thought I would, and you just get really good prints. All right, now I got to put the fan together. So the fan's in 3 pieces. I'm going to assemble it. And I love the filter. So, changeable filter built into the device. That is really cool. I'm gonna get the fan out of here. And I'll get rid of that trash. And then we need the back cover. So, we got the back cover here. You can see they've wonderfully cut it. No cracks, no scrapes. This plexiglass work is beautifully done. Other than being able to get the film off. That's always the hard part. And, in all honesty, there's nothing saying you have to take the film off. But I like cold. I like clear. And, it's one of those things with resin, there's the chemicals, there's the denatured alcohol, there's, the resin itself. But as long as you, do proper ventilation, you do like Anycubic and them now have filters that you can put in the printer itself that are USB rechargeable. It's not that bad at all. So it's definitely something. Definitely give it a chance. Is what I'm gonna say about it. All right, so all 3 pieces. You got the fan, the cover, then you've got the cover that the filter will click onto. Your bolts go in between the 2, so your filter will click on top of it. Those are those longer screws, and looks like there are 4 of them. Grab those. And we will get these lined up. But there goes out my filter. I love that the filter is accessible. You can get at it and get that out of there. So that is pretty awesome in my book. Oop, I'm putting the fan on backwards. Cable down towards the bottom. So I just have to keep checking the instructions to make sure I'm doing it right. Last thing I want to do is come back 2 hours later and have to take a bunch of this apart. Because I didn't put a screw in the right place. And I'm pretty sure once we get through these early steps, this is going to start to cruise. We're kind of doing all the pre-stage work right now. But again, this retails at $200 for this enclosure. And honestly, I'm in love with it as it is. So I see the planning, the design, the work, the electrical, that this is a, if you've got 1 or 2 Ender 3s and this is what you're working with and you're stuck in the garage or you got pets or something like that, and you need to make a good professional looking area for a decent cost. Honestly, I've seen enclosures going for a lot more, and these are really well done. I just applaud to the company that that would even consider sending this to me. So this is an expensive enclosure, and I'm loving this. I mean, this is just beautiful. And we're actually going to hopefully start, I think in the next step here, we start really seeing some assembly. So bear with me as we get through these steps here. I'm going to try to get caught up with you guys here in chat here in a second. Then the filter just clicks in place. Voila. All right. So we got the filter in. So as it was gone, we've gone through the getting started phase. We've put our doors together. We've got the fan now in place. Now it's time to start putting the pillars in, which is looking like a lot of fun here. So let's be about that. We got the pillars. I gotta get them opened up here and untaped. So let's start getting some pillars in here. And you guys can tell they're metal and they're very well done. They're very clean, very well done. And they're definitely meant for the glass to slide in. It's meant for bolting from up underneath. So these are very well put together. I'm very impressed with these. And it's going to give a very nice looking framework here. So I need to get the right bolts to start putting these in from underneath. Sorry guys, this part may be out of view. If it is, I apologize, but shifting the camera is a little monumentous task right now. There we go. So it took a minute to get the grip. Once the grip is there, this guy is sitting in the hole properly, real quick. Screw that down and get a very firm hold. And we'll do this around all 4 points at the bottom. As I crawl around on my knees. So they do not have the CR series yet, and they're working on making another one for the larger Ender series, like the S1 Pro. So those are coming soon. Because I'll be honest, just working on this today, just working on this, and having some of the Creality enclosures and some of that around the house here, I would gladly spend the money. So this does cost, so a Creality enclosure for even the CR10s run about $70-80 on sale most times. Doesn't even own up to this. I made the IKEA stand for my Enders. I wish I hadn't wasted my money. Because these just blow even that out of the park. I am very much, this is where I would spend my money. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot to put it together and stuff like that, but this is very high grade compared to other enclosures that I've looked at, that I've seen designs for. I will probably be ordering more of these, even if I wind up modifying it to fit an Odin. This is still a good investment. And it's something I haven't even gotten to use, and I'm already sold on the investment. And to me, right now, just what I'm seeing in the construction, the quality, the machining of all this, I see a company that cares. I see the care. I see the workmanship in this. And that hits very hard with me. Link will be put in the description later. This whole enclosure impresses me. Because honestly, the Creality ones, which are just kind of like a pop-up tent, was worse to assemble. I mean, this has weight to it. This is about 23 pounds in the box. But all right, there's the frame. So the box is 23 pounds shipped. And yes, I'm sweating. It is 100 degrees outside here. So, I see a lot of good in this. Guys, if you're watching my stream, thank you for sending this to me and sponsoring this video, basically. And if you do a CR10 or a bigger one, let me know, and I will definitely be a buyer. So let's move on to the next step. Is we're getting ready. We've got the, I'm not going to put the feet on yet. I'm going to wait to do that for a minute. But next is getting the plexiglass in place. So of course, we've got the front doors, which will just slide in place. Just like that. Put the other one in place here real quick. And those will straighten up as we get the top on. And then looking at where our fan goes over to the side. So we'll get that one in place. And these are channeled for the plexiglass to slide right in. And this, I did it the wrong way. And of course, in my shop, there's some dog hair. Unfortunately, it's gotten static cling, but that's all right because I'll clean all this before I actually move it back into the shop to transport a printer. Slide that down in place, and that should just slide right down and click right in place. Bingo. So let's get the other side rocking here. And you guys can see they've cut these channels, which this is awesome. Again, this attests to the assemblyman and craftsmanship. Is that groove will set down in that slot. So they've made this to really interlink. I don't know anything about the longer LK5. I've never worked with them, so I don't feel qualified to give you advice on it. Definitely read the reviews, what other people have said. Look at the slicing software that it can use. And definitely just kind of make the decision based on what you're seeing of the quality of the company. I mean, if you go out there and you find a ton of bad reviews, but the printer's cheap, you know, some of those cheap printers have done really well. My usual beginner printer recommendation is an Ender 3, a Focus Odin 5, or CR10. Is usually where I tell people to start. And it's not that I, don't try other printers. I try all kinds of printers. And it's one of those things, that one just has not. These films can be sometimes hard to peel away. The longer printer just has not come across my bench. If there's a rep out there, definitely shoot me an email. I'd love to try out one of your printers and showcase it on the channel. Wow, that's just beautiful. All right. So what do you guys think so far of what you've seen? So, enclosures, depending on where you are, where you're doing this in your house and stuff, you may not need this. Several things that have won me with this enclosure is the fan. The fan's huge because I could put a piece of ducting and run that right up my window. So if I'm doing ABS or stinky material, the enclosure keeps it in, and I can vent it right out of the house if I want it. And that's really kind of cool to me, is being able to not have to custom build an enclosure. I kind of do wish that a fitting was available to go to, like, say, some air conditioner duct or stuff like that. So that might be an upgrade to help people get this more of like vented out. But all in all, that filter too is great. Oh, come on. I feel like Apollo pulling back a bow right now. Bad part about being a guy and not having nails. All right, we're gonna slide this back piece in. Again, the tongue and groove channeling. There's a spot back here for the power cord, which is beautifully done. The 4 feet setting. Of course, we've got to finish up here by putting the top on. So what you would do right now is, this is when you put your printer in. You get this in position, put your printer in, then you bolt on the top. I'm not going to put a printer in it today, but I'm going to go ahead and finish it. So I want to definitely get this put together, which honestly, there's not that much left other than flipping this over, making sure these two little tubes in the front do not slip out, which just happened. Which bonus points, they sent extras of these little copper tubes. There we go. I'm gonna get my door on that. I'm gonna come over here and get my other door set in there. Get them kind of settled in here. And basically some 4 bolts will go in. I'll do some electronics. Miniton Beagle camera. I'm not sure what that one is, Doug. I'll have to Google that one and take a look. We'll get the bolt started here so we can kind of get stuff in its groove for the top. So that the top can actually set down the way it's supposed to here. We're almost to the finish line. There we go. The doors in there. There we go. One more bolt and a little bit of screw down. We put a cable together on the inside to plug that fan in. Then we get to run the USB power cable, light her up, see how bright it is inside, because that's going to matter to me. Because I do recordings. Light is life. So I love the clear acrylic. Lets a lot of light get into it. Whoops. And there we go. So filament enters through a hole in the lid right here. We'll come down and pull into the printer. And what you would do is you would take your printer arm for your filament and mount it out here on top. They send 2 little screws, you mount it, your filament goes straight down in there and would feed right into your printer right there. So the only other thing that's left is there's a port here right up on top to plug the fan in. There's a little bit awkward placement with my big hands. And there we go, plugged in. All right. We are assembled. We are beautiful. we are ready to pull out the USB cable. So the power cord for the printer actually goes through a hole back here. There's a hole that you can put the cord in. You have to put it in during assembly. All right. So we got our USB-C cable. I'm gonna have to slide this over on the bench so I can get to my bench's USB-C cables. Oh no. Oh, okay, okay. We can work around this. The one part I didn't have is the plug, and they don't send the actual plug piece, but hey, guess what? I have one. All right. So fan. Away it goes. Very quiet. And for brightness, hang on. I don't know if this will make it more visible or not, but you guys can see the light going on and off. Looks fantastic. The fan, whisper quiet. I love it. I love this. I love this. I love the hygrometer. I love the temperature, the percentage of moisture inside. It's just beautiful. Having the cable port back here, having the matchups for the points. I'm going to give it a good Windex on the plexiglass. USB-C type is great. For this product, I like it. I like it a lot. Matt, very much thank you for sending this to me. I really appreciate it. This print enclosure is going to get very much love because the Creality enclosures are like a pop-up tent. They're very kind of derpy, droopy, and they don't really fit the printer all that well. This is custom precision design right here. I mean, this is beautiful. Now, unfortunately, it won't fit like the Ender 3 Max or the S1 Pro yet, but wow. I like this. I like this a lot. I like the layout for the cabling. I like just the way this is laid out, especially for an Ender 3 V2. This is perfect placement for the power cord back here. The Ender 3, yeah, you have to pull it over here to the side, but there's still plenty of room. The grooves for the feet to sit in there. I'm a little worried that my current Ender 3 and Ender 3 V2 won't fit in here because they're modded. And they have to stand a little bit up on feet, but it may actually fit in here just fine. So, and they do have taller ones coming. So that is something they are working on to accommodate the bigger Ender 3s. And I'm actually really curious to see if an Odin will fit in here. So I definitely will check that out. Hey, Wizard's Fury. So, guys, this was tonight's stream, was talking about enclosures, why they can be needed, what usefulness they can do. I mean, with air filtration, protecting from the printer from kids and pets, to just being a great tool all around and a great way to protect your printer and climate control it if you have to put the printer in a variable environment, like say your printer has to live in the garage. The printer is going to stay warm, maybe even hotter. You may be able to turn your temps down a little bit. But all in all, an enclosure like this is a great way to secure and control your printer. Now, humidity-wise, while in here is humid controlled, the filament spool sitting out here will not be. So actually what I probably would do with mine is, instead of putting the filament arm, is I'm going to put my filament heater right here and have the filament feeding out of my heater directly into the box. That way there's no humidity. There's only a brief little bit of time that the filament can get exposed to humidity. So that's probably what I'm going to do here. So definitely kind of one of those things, but it is definitely well built. The price tag $199 for all this plexiglass, all the precisioning, $199 is a steal in my opinion. So I've seen other enclosures that try to come up to this price point that are just crazy. Wizard's Fury, this one runs $199. So almost as much as a printer, but in all honesty, when you look at it, what it's built, how it's built, the quality of build, it's worth it. It's definitely a very good way to secure and show off your printer. So definitely loving this one. Definitely one. If you guys have enjoyed tonight's stream, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here. If you haven't yet, why are you not subscribed? We do all kinds of cool stuff like this every Tuesday. Also, you know, it helps me out if you go down there and hit that thumbs up button, because that is important. So definitely kind of one of those things to look into. And that thumbs up button, it helps us get out to YouTube, and it tells me I'm making content that you enjoy. I definitely want to know that. If you have any questions, make sure you leave those questions down in the comments section. This video will be going live right after the stream here. It takes about an hour for it to post-process it, and it will be available. So definitely go out there and leave a comment if you have any questions or anything like that. Also, if you guys want to support the channel, please head on over down to the link in the description over to Patreon and become a patron of the channel. You get some special perks and cool things that you don't normally see here on the channel, and we'd love to have you over there. So at that, guys, I am going to end tonight's stream because we've been going for just under an hour, but all in all, we achieved tonight's goal. So this is what I was after doing, and it looks gorgeous. So I appreciate everybody showing up tonight, and we will see you guys in the next stream next Tuesday. Thank you, guys.